Alright, hello everyone, Simon here. We are playing Castle of the Winds Part 1, A Question of Vengeance. If you're wondering what this is an old game that I used to enjoy. I still enjoy, I guess. So the game is running in DOSBox. So it's running inside Windows 3.11, which is running inside DOSBox, which is running inside my Windows 10 machine. And this is an old game, and there's no sound, there's no graphics. It's an old RPG, kind of like Diablo, except turn-based. Let's just click on overview. What does that say? Oh, check it out. Can you even read that? It's pretty small, right? Overview of, let me read this for you. Oh, nice. It actually teaches you. So I like this game because it's, for an old game, it's really accessible, right? Everything is inside the help file. And then some old games are hard to get into, but not this one. Overview of the game. Castle of the Winds is a two-part graphical adventure game, loosely based on fantasy role-playing games and drawing much inspiration from Norse mythology. Part 1 concerns the character's efforts to avenge the deaths of his or her godparents, who were foully murdered by unknown agents. Along the way you will do battle with evil monsters, brave deadly traps, and collect the money and magical treasures gathered by the dangerous foes. As the story unfolds, the character will also learn of his or her mysterious past, and the legacy left by the character's long-dead father. Alright, so then it tells you to start a new game, and then you have the statistics. You can create an icon for your character, although I'm not going to. Let's see, you can read a sign with the mouse, right-click on the sign. From the keyboard, use X to examine. The game starts out in a small hamlet. You'll find a blacksmith shop and general store to get equipped. There's also a shrine in the hamlet where you can get healed, which is like you don't want to do that though. Movement combat. Use the numeric keyboard to move in the 8 directions, or click on the player icon and drag with the mouse. Oh man. Combat. Moving onto a monster square attacks the monster. Exploring, right click on almost anything, gives you information about it, whether in dungeon view, map view, or in the inventory. Alright, good luck. And if you go to the help file, you can have like a bestiary, and look up all the bestiary, like bears and like a giant bat, and it just tells you everything, like humanoids, a thief. It's cool, right? Like everything's in the game, and then you have like items, like inventory. Actually, where's the object directory? Look at that. It just gives you all the stats. Elven mail, chainmail, scale mail. Anyway, let's not go through all of that right now because I'll just play the game. Start a new game. So I'm gonna be Simon. I'm gonna play on intermediate difficulty. Although you can choose like different difficulty levels, the nature of the game is that it keeps generating more and more monsters if you just kind of let the time pass. So basically, if you're too weak to beat the monsters now, you can just like grind and get more levels and then get stronger, and then you'll do better. So the difficulty, the more difficult it is, the more grindy it is, and that's all it is. You don't have to like, it doesn't actually make the game more challenging, it just makes it more grindy. So I'm gonna go stick with intermediate. I'm gonna go with Constitution. I think I'm gonna drop the intelligence. The intelligence helps with spellcasting, but you don't really need spellcasting. You kind of need dexterity to hit things more than anything. I might like just up this a little bit too. Again, this doesn't really matter too much. Eventually you'll find enough items to boost your stats. Alright, let's go. First spell, I'm gonna take Magic Arrow, which, if you want to know what the spells do, you can go to help. Magic Arrow is the damage one. You can detect objects, heal, lighten, and so on. And this is the game, this is the graphics. When they say it's a graphical adventure game, they mean this sort of graphics. So you can move around like this. Oh sweet, you can just move like that. So down here you have a temple. You can heal, but you need to spend gold. This CP is copper pieces. You have to spend money to heal, so I'm not going to do that. The most important thing to start off with, I think, is to buy a short sword, which is better than your dagger. You can right click on this, right? Oh, it doesn't tell you the stats on it. Hold on, if I go to help, inventory, not inventory, help, object directory, and then we go down to like weapons. You see the dagger is weapon class 2. Short sword is weapon class 5, which obviously is better. Armor is kind of less important, because no amount of armor is going to save you if you can't actually hit the enemies. But before I do that, I'm just going to check the other shops. Like, that might also be worthwhile buying. I have 1,500 gold, not gold, copper. I should probably open the purse. So the copper isn't there, right? Detect objects, like, it's kind of useful to buy the spellbook. Spellbooks allow you to learn the spells permanently. Let me just see what that is. 416. And the short sword is 1000 C. Yeah, the short sword basically uses all the money. I'm gonna buy the short sword. This is basically the best thing you can invest in at the start of the game. And then I can't actually afford anything else now. I can like afford bracelets and gauntlets, but I don't want to. Mostly I want to, I guess, find enough gold to buy the detect objects. And then you have the sage, which identifies items for you. And then you have the Castle Olaf's junk store, which basically you can sell anything to here. Even things that the other shops won't buy. So sometimes you find broken stuff, you can just sell to the junk store. Anyway, let's get out of here. Oh, so this stuff is important too. So we've got inventory, right? You've seen that before. There's character, which is your character sheet. Kind of important. Attributes, we don't have any yet, but we will eventually. There's like a map, which doesn't help here, but later on it'll be useful. We have a spell book. There are a lot of spells in the game, and eventually we'll fill that a bit. Verbs, because you can examine anything. You see grass. Let's go examine a vegetable garden, a village well, farmland, road. So you can just kind of see what's going on, right? What's this? A wagon, nice. You can search. Search will allow you to look for traps and secret doors, and you can disarm the traps or try to disarm the traps. You can rest until you're healed, and you can sleep until your mana is restored. You see down here you have 10 health points, 5 mana. So this stuff, you can pay money to heal at the temple, or you can just rest and heal. So I don't know why you would ever spend money to heal at the temple. Because the game has no time limit. And there's no like food or water requirements. You don't get hungry. Nothing happens if you spend a long time. So there's no point spending money to heal ever. Anyway, let's get out of here. And let's move our way over here. Examine a trampled garden. The smoldering remains of a building. You gaze once more on the charred ruins of the farm where you were raised. You buried the blackened skeletons of your godparents in the remains of the garden they loved. Ew. They're in here, they're buried in the garden. But you can't bury the anger which still seethes at the thought of how they died. Grimly you vow that nothing will prevent you from avenging their deaths. Well, that's basically your grandparents got fridged, your godparents got fridged to give you some motivation to kill other people. I'm not sure that's a good story. Anyway, the Marauders pillaged the farm quite thoroughly. Nowhere in the ruins can you find the amulet left for you by your true father, whose dying words whispered to your godfather were supposedly of its importance to you, of how it could lead you to your fortune and great glory, but only if you proved your worth. So we're looking for a lost amulet. Your godparents had promised it to you on your 18th birthday. Now you have neither godparents nor birthright, and your birthday has just passed. A search for clues in the rubble finds only a confused trail of footprints leading north towards the mountains. Many of the footprints seem much too large to have come from the boots of bandits or soldiers. You look north, wondering, where might the amulet be by now? To whom must you prove yourself, and how? Let's go stab people up in the mines to the north. Alright, let me wander over here. My mouse accuracy is not very good, so I'm moving around like a drunk person. So you go into the dungeon, and as I said earlier, it's a little bit like Diablo. So you go into the dungeon, you just keep going down and down and down and down until you beat the boss. The first level is the same every game, and I know there's a kobold up here. Which I'm gonna use the keyboard. There's the kobold. Look at that, him, an injured kobold. So if you're interested, we can look up the bestiary, right? Humanoids, kobold. Kobolds, diminutive race of miners, originally from Svartalfheim. Svartalfheim, my bad. The kobolds live their lives entirely underground, mining for precious metals and stones. They are highly territorial and will defend a rich lode against intruders. Occasionally they will band together and poach the minds of men, killing any miners they encounter. They need no light source, being used to moving through lightless tunnels, and can fight well in complete darkness. However, as a kobold stands less than 2 cubits tall, a single specimen stands but little chance against an armed and armored warrior of any skill. Kobolds fight with sundry bent knives and cleavers, or else with their mining picks and small sledges at hand. Alright, well, there's your bestiary. So now we just move into him to hit him, and you can see that down here at the bottom, the text tells you what's going on. So the kobold blocks your clumsy blow, the kobold hits you, you basically trade hits. The enemies move when you move. You smite the kobold, driving it back a step, the kobold hits you, the kobold hits you. So I'm almost dead, but so is the kobold. Now, what do we do here? We can save the game and save scum, or we can use the magic to kill him. I know the magic bolt will kill him. Let's use the magic bolt and kill him. Bang. And I also know there's no other monsters here, so I'm just gonna rest in the dark. Usually it's a bad idea to rest in the dark because the enemies will just come up right next to you before you notice they're there. So we're resting. If you're paying attention down here, we were almost dead. We were down to 3 out of 10 health. Oh, and then you find that the kobold was standing on top of a suit of leather armor, which is safe to wear. Some items are cursed and some items are blessed. But because the first level is always the same, I know this is just a normal suit of armor. And that's also why when you first start the game, you should not buy armor. Because you'll find armor right away. Alright, so that's great. And then there's an injured giant rat. What is that? Animals, giant rat. Oh, not that one. Giant rat. Inhabitants of the seedy underbelly of mankind's civilization. Rats have scavenged our leavings for millennia. The rats in the caves and dungeons below the castle, however, are larger and more intelligent than their city cousins, and when found in numbers can be much more deadly. It's a big rat. It's not that scary. Oh, I killed... You see down here, you hit the giant rat is dead, but there's a second one behind it which came forward. Oh, I missed it. It bites me, and it's dead. Right, and so there's the cave. Let me verb rest again. can rest here actually. Let me keep forward, keep going forward. So you notice when I like see an enemy, I don't walk straight at them, because remember when you move, they move, it's turn-based. And so if you walk at them, they can hit you right away. Whereas if you walk sideways, they'll walk towards you and then they can't hit you right away. So there's like subtle things like that with the turn-based combat system where you don't want to just charge straight into enemies. An injured goblin. Beast. Oops, wrong one. Contents, bestiary, humanoids, goblin and goblin fighters. Goblins, predatory humanoid warrior tribe. These bandits roam craggy and mountainous areas, preying on lone travelers, small caravans, and small outlying townships. Vigorous military action has cleansed much of the land from their scourge. Most of the survivors have fled deep into the mountains, or taken refuge in ruins and caves. Goblins range from 3 to 4 cubits in height, with the larger individuals fighters bullying and leading the smaller. They have little other apparent organization. Traveling in familial bands, some tribes of goblins may enlist the protection of a larger monster, yielding to it a large share of any booty collected in exchange for its handling of any outsized foes. So again, a small opponent, especially the normal one, not the fighters. You hit the goblin, it hits you, so now it's slightly injured. You smash the goblin's shield, striking sparks, goblin hits you. So that doesn't actually hit. You deal the goblin a murderous cut, the goblin is dead. Alright, and then there's gold. Not gold, copper. 8 pieces of copper, sweet. We're really making money now. Those are the stairs down, and because we've all played Diablo before, we know that we just go down and down and down, and that's the whole game. So let me rest here, and then let me save. Let's go ahead and Simon, start a new save file. So, like many roguelikes and dungeon crawlers, the levels are randomly generated. So I think what I want to do with this playthrough is I'll save before I generate the level, and then I'll go down, and then I'll avoid save scumming when I'm actually in the level. Because if you save scum, obviously it's a lot easier, right? You just keep saving and saving, and then when you get unlucky, you just kind of load the game. I don't want to save scum too hard in this playthrough, so what I think I'll do is I'll save before going down, and then go down, and then if I die, I have to get back to like this point and then go down again, but because I'll have regenerated the map, it'll be a different map instead of the one that I just played through. Alright, that's the plan. Let's go down. Look at this. We have a potion. An injured giant rat. Well, I mean, there are other ways to save scum too, like you know, back in the castle stage, because look at this, it says unidentified potion. Well, it doesn't say unidentified, it just says a potion. You can take it to the castle sage to identify it, but identifying it costs money, and if it turns out to be something like just a bottle of water, then you waste the money. So you can like save the game, identify it, and then if you don't like what it is, just sell it as it is, and then not have to spend the money. You load the game and sell that as it is. Anyway, let me not worry about that right now. Oh crap, there's 2 things. The rat bites you, oh, that's bad. Just gonna like move up. Stairs down. Okay, I'm just gonna run away, rest, go down, hit the rat, kill the rat, hit the kobold. Oh, almost dead. Run away. The kobold follows you. Oh, it's uninjured. Crap. Please don't die. Please don't die. Alright, so I'm going to put some space between me and the kobold and use the magic bolt. The thing is, if it hits me again, I die, right? So I just want to play it safe. Alright, there you go. And then I'm gonna stay up here, sleep until mana is restored, and then we're fine. And this is most of the game, is just you trying not to die. I should probably like... Oh, zombies are dangerous. Let me hit it once with this. Slightly injured, huh? It's got a lot of health. Heavily injured. Maybe I can kill it now. Oh, yes I can. I did search, right? Oh, there is a trap. You quite often there will be traps on items. Let me disarm the trap. You failed. Try again. You failed. Alright, try. This is a teleport trap, by the way. It teleports you somewhere randomly around the level. I keep failing to disarm the trap. Alright, there you go. Oh. Hi. An injured hobgoblin. Oh, I didn't look up the bestiary for the zombie. So we go to undead. Let's see. Walking corpses? A freshly dead corpse, if not properly buried, may be taken by an evil wizard or priest to create a walking corpse. While slower than a skeleton due to the rotting flesh that still clings to the bones, a walking corpse is harder to kill than a skeleton. For the flesh also provides some protection. Like a skeleton, a walking corpse has no memory of his former life. I don't know if I want to read through all this every time we find a new enemy. But basically, because I've played the game a few times before, I know how dangerous these guys are. Like the hobgoblin is actually kinda dangerous. Heavily injured. Oh, done. So we reach level 2. Heal minor wounds detect. We know there's a detect objects potion. Not potion, detect objects spell book back in town. If it's still there when I go back, so we've spent like 2 hours in the game, right? As time passes, eventually the stuff in the shop will refresh. So by the time I get back there, the book might not be there anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and take the heal minor wounds and just hope that the detect objects will be there when I get back there. 125 pieces of copper, that's great. So let me move up here.